Have you ever stopped to think about how many secrets might be hidden right in front of our eyes? Grand monuments, palaces, churches, every structure built over the centuries carries a message. But what if I told you that one of the most sacred places in the world might be hiding secret signs in its architecture? Signs that for centuries have been ignored, erased, or simply considered irrelevant. Today, we are going to dive into one of the greatest mysteries in history, the hidden symbols in Vatican architecture, a place that attracts millions of faithful followers every year, but holds messages that few dare to interpret. What is really encoded within its columns? What do the frescoes, sculptures, and secret passages reveal about the past and future of the Church? Maybe after this video you'll never look at St. Peter's Basilica the same way again. Before we continue, I want to know, where are you watching this video from? Comment below, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. That way, you help us continue bringing content like this. Now let's begin this journey into the mysteries of the Holy See, the Vatican, a city of secrets. The Vatican is the smallest country in the world, but its importance is immeasurable. With just 44 hectares, it is the heart of the Catholic Church, the seat of the Pope, and the stage for decisions that have shaped human history for centuries. But beyond its religious influence, the Vatican holds something that few people notice, a true labyrinth of hidden symbolism. The narrow streets, the monumental statues, the paintings of Michelangelo, the corridors of the Apostolic Palace, everything seems to have been designed with a purpose that goes beyond faith. But why? Why do some works of art appear to contain messages that contradict the official doctrine of the Church? Why are certain pagan symbols and esoteric references present in a place that should be purely Christian? Did the architects and artists who worked on these constructions know something the rest of the world did not? Or are they just meaningless details? The answer to these questions may be more surprising than you imagine. St. Peter's Square, a hidden code designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini in the 17th century, St. Peter's Square is one of the most iconic landmarks of the Vatican. Thousands of people walk across it every day, but few realize its true structure. The arrangement of its columns and the shape of the square were not chosen randomly. Seen from above, the square forms a massive circle with an Egyptian obelisk at its center. But why an obelisk? An Egyptian symbol, strongly linked to pagan religions, right at the heart of the Vatican. This obelisk was brought from Heliopolis, an ancient Egyptian city associated with the worship of the sun god Ra. And here comes the first big question. Why is a pagan symbol, associated with a civilization that worshipped multiple gods, positioned at the very center of Vatican City? But that's not all. The alignment of the obelisk with the square's structure forms a perfect solar clock. And some theories suggest that it is also aligned with constellations and specific astronomical events. Could this be just a coincidence? Or was Bernini leaving a hidden message for those who knew how to interpret the signs? The Basilica of St. Peter, a church or a code? If St. Peter's Square is already filled with mysteries, the Basilica of St. Peter holds even more. With its grand dimensions, it is one of the largest churches in the world. But what really stands out are the details of its construction. Inside, the basilica is full of symbols that at first glance seem Christian, but in reality, they hold meanings that date back much further. Look at the main altar, for example. It is covered by a massive bronze canopy, the baldachin of St. Peter, also designed by Bernini. But something seems strange. The spiral columns of the baldachin are eerily similar to the columns of King Solomon's temple described in the Bible. Coincidence, or a reference to ancient Jewish wisdom that influenced so many secret orders throughout history? Sacred geometry, a secret hidden in the ceiling, and there's more. The ceiling of the basilica and the Michelangelo-designed dome are filled with geometric shapes that, according to researchers, follow sacred geometry patterns. But what does this mean? Could St. Peter's Basilica contain secret codes that can only be understood by those who possess the right knowledge? The Vatican museums, more than just art. Beyond the Basilica and the Square, the Vatican is home to the famous Vatican museums, which house some of the most impressive works of art in human history. But hidden among paintings and sculptures, there are certain pieces that raise suspicions. Depictions of pagan deities, alchemical symbols, references to secret societies. Some paintings seem to contain subliminal messages, as if the artists had left behind an enigma for future generations. The Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo's hidden message? For example, the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo's masterpiece, contains something very intriguing. The painting of the creation of Adam is one of the most famous artworks in the world. But some scholars point out that the outline surrounding God in the image appears to be a perfect representation of the human brain. What does this mean? Was Michelangelo subtly suggesting that human intelligence is equivalent to the divine, or was he trying to challenge the religious beliefs of his time in a hidden way? And if this is only the tip of the iceberg, then there are far deeper secrets still waiting to be revealed. What makes a place truly sacred? Is it its history, its rituals, or the mysteries hidden within its foundations? In the Vatican, every stone, every sculpture, and every fresco seems to tell a hidden story, a narrative that goes beyond faith and delves into an architectural enigma. But what exactly do these symbols conceal? In the last part, we discussed the initial mysteries of St. Peter's Square, the Basilica, and the Vatican museums. Now, let's go even deeper, exploring secret passages, enigmatic representations, and structures that appear to carry messages hidden for centuries. After all, is the Vatican merely a religious center, or is it a true architectural code waiting to be deciphered? The architecture of the Vatican is not only grand, it follows extremely precise mathematical and geometric patterns. These patterns, known as sacred geometry, have been used for millennia to construct temples and monuments around the world. But what exactly is sacred geometry? It is based on the idea that certain shapes and proportions hold a profound meaning connected to the divine. The golden ratio, also called the divine proportion, is present in countless sacred constructions, from the pyramids of Egypt to medieval cathedrals, and the Vatican is no exception. The arrangement of the columns in St. Peter's Square, the structure of the Basilica, and even the positioning of some sculptures follow these patterns. What is intriguing is that these very same patterns were used by secret societies such as the Freemasons and the Knights Templar. Why would a center of Christianity adhere to concepts also found in pagan temples and esoteric orders? Was this intentional or merely an architectural coincidence? The Vatican is famous for its secret library and the hidden documents it guards under strict protection. But what few know is that its very architecture conceals mysterious passages and chambers, some of which are not open to the public. According to historical records, there are underground tunnels that connect the Vatican to other points in Rome. One of the best known is the Passetto di Borgo, a secret passage that links the Vatican to Castel Sant'Angelo. This passage was used by popes to escape during times of crisis, such as invasions and assassination attempts. Yet it is only one of the many underground tunnels of the Vatican. What else might be hidden beneath the feet of the millions of faithful who visit St. Peter's Square? Beyond the tunnels, there are reports of rooms sealed for centuries, supposedly guarding documents and relics of inestimable value. If one day these doors are opened, what will be revealed to the world? Among the hidden symbols in the Vatican, one of the most intriguing is the all-seeing eye, one of the most recognized icons in esoteric and Masonic symbolism. This symbol, often associated with control and hidden knowledge, appears discreetly in some of the Vatican's decorations, frequently camouflaged among frescoes and sculptures. But why would a symbol so commonly linked to secret societies be present in one of the most sacred places in the world? Another enigmatic symbol is the obelisk in St. Peter's Square, which we mentioned earlier. Besides its Egyptian origin, it is also considered a symbol of hidden power and ancient knowledge. Many of these symbolic references might be seen as mere architectural coincidences. But what if they are, in fact, clues left by those who designed and built the Vatican? If there is one place that sparks curiosity and speculation, it is the Vatican's secret archives. This immense collection of historical documents, papal letters, and ancient records is among the most protected in the world. Only authorized researchers can access certain documents, and much information is kept in complete secrecy. But why? What could be contained within these archives that would justify such secrecy? Some theories suggest that compromising historical documents, including accounts of contacts with ancient civilizations, and even information about the Church's true role in history, may be stored there. Are there records of lost civilizations? Letters that reveal hidden truths about the past, or even evidence of something humanity is not yet ready to know? The fact remains that the Vatican continues to be one of the most enigmatic places in the world. And with each new discovery, more questions arise. For centuries, the world's greatest artists were commissioned to decorate the sacred halls of the Vatican. Michelangelo, Raphael, Bernini, each left an immortal legacy in frescoes and sculptures. But what if I told you that some of these works hide secret messages, encoded for those who know where to look? The walls of the Sistine Chapel, for example, are much more than mere religious paintings. Some research suggests that Michelangelo, a genius known for his obsession with human anatomy, may have left clues about forbidden knowledge hidden from the majority of the faithful. And it's not just the Sistine Chapel that harbors enigmas. Several frescoes and murals in the Vatican's corridors contain symbols that at first glance seem harmless, but may hide secrets buried for centuries. Were these artists trying to tell us something? Among all the Vatican's paintings, none is as famous as Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam. The image of God reaching out to Adam is one of the most iconic in art history. But look closely, something in that painting challenges everything we know. Researchers have observed that the figure of God, surrounded by angels, bears the exact shape of the human brain. Is it merely a coincidence? Or was Michelangelo sending a hidden message? If we entertain this possibility, an unsettling question arises. Was Michelangelo suggesting that God and human consciousness are one and the same? If true, this idea would call into question centuries of religious dogma. And that's not the only peculiarity in the Sistine Chapel. Other anatomical details have been found in its paintings, hidden so that only the most observant might notice. Why would Michelangelo insert these secret codes into the very heart of the Church? Could it have been a subtle way to question religious authority? Or is there hidden knowledge preserved only for those who dare to see beyond the surface? Another painting that holds mysteries in the Vatican is Raphael's The School of Athens. At first glance, this masterpiece appears simply to depict the great philosophers of antiquity, such as Plato and Aristotle. But why is a painting that exalts pagan knowledge displayed in the Apostolic Palace of the Vatican, one of the most sacred places in Christendom? The most intriguing detail lies in the figures Raphael included in the scene. Among them is a man many believe to be Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest geniuses of the Renaissance and a renowned scholar of hidden symbols. Another figure, believed to represent Pythagoras, is holding a book containing enigmatic mathematical diagrams that were used by esoteric orders and secret societies throughout history. The presence of these elements suggests that Raphael may have left a subtle clue within the halls of the Vatican. But what is the message? What does this painting tell us about the relationship between religion, science, and forbidden knowledge? In the corridors of the Vatican, there is also a collection of ancient maps that few know about. Called the Gallery of Maps, these murals detail with impressive precision regions of the world known for centuries. Yet what really catches the eye are the maps that depict territories that supposedly should not have been known at the time. One of the most intriguing maps shows an Antarctica without ice, a detail that could only be mapped with modern technology. This raises a disturbing question. How could the Vatican's artists and cartographers have had access to such knowledge centuries ago? Moreover, there are reports that some of these maps may contain traces of lost civilizations, lands that were never officially explored by conventional history. Does the Vatican hide secrets about vanished civilizations? What else might be concealed within these silent galleries? St. Peter's Basilica is one of the most sacred temples in Christendom, yet few know that its architecture may be replete with hidden symbolism. Some analyses suggest that its architectural plan follows a specific alignment based on ancient constellations and astrological maps. But the most unsettling detail lies in a little visited part of the basilica, the subterranean tombs. Beneath the main altar, there is an ancient necropolis where St. Peter himself is supposedly buried. However, investigations indicate that there are passages and chambers yet to be explored. What might be hidden beneath the basilica? Some theories suggest that secrets about the early years of Christianity might be concealed there. Ancient texts, sacred relics, or perhaps something that has never been revealed to the public. The answer may lie buried beneath the very foundations of the church, and if one day these tunnels are opened, what will be revealed to the world? If there's one thing that never goes unnoticed in the Vatican, it's its monumental statues. They are everywhere. On columns, fountains, corridors, and even on ceilings. But have you ever noticed that some of them seem out of place? Among the countless sculptures of saints and biblical figures, some stand out for not seemingly belonging to traditional Christian iconography. Among them are depictions of figures that resemble pagan deities, esoteric symbols, and even hidden references to alchemy. But why are these statues there? Could it be that the sculptors wanted to leave a hidden message for those who knew how to interpret it? Or does the Vatican harbor mysteries that go beyond Christianity? The truth is, every detail, every inscription, and every carved figure may contain a meaning that has never been fully revealed. And this brings us to one of the most enigmatic symbols of all. In the center of St. Peter's Square, right in the heart of the Vatican, stands an Egyptian obelisk, a monument that was already ancient when Jesus walked the earth. This obelisk was brought from Heliopolis, an ancient Egyptian city dedicated to the sun god Ra. But why would such a powerful pagan symbol be placed at the epicenter of Christianity? The truth is, obelisks have always been considered symbols of power, hidden knowledge, and a connection between heaven and earth. Ancient civilizations believed they were conduits of energy, marking points of spiritual power. Now observe a curious detail. The alignment of this obelisk with St. Peter's Basilica is not random. It is positioned precisely, creating a link between the center of the Vatican and the rest of the square. Many scholars point out that the Vatican may have been built upon ancient esoteric knowledge, using geometric and astrological patterns that go beyond traditional faith. But was this intentional? And if so, what does it really mean? Another mysterious symbol present in Vatican architecture is the keys of St. Peter. This emblem, which appears on the Vatican flag and in various sculptures, represents the spiritual power granted to Peter by Christ. But there's something curious. In many depictions, the keys are golden and silver, colors that in alchemy symbolize the sun and the moon, the balance between opposing forces and supreme knowledge. This concept is found in various esoteric traditions, especially among secret societies that sought the lost knowledge of antiquity. Is the Church sending a hidden message? Do the keys represent only the power of faith, or do they also serve as a code for those who understand their true meanings? If the keys guard a secret, what exactly are they locking away? Not everyone knows, but the Vatican houses one of the oldest astronomical clocks in the world, located on the exterior of St. Peter's Basilica. Unlike ordinary clocks that merely mark the hours, this type of clock was built to measure celestial movements, track astrological cycles, and predict significant astronomical events. But why would a place of faith need such a complex mechanism? The answer may lie in the ancient connection between religion and astrology. For centuries, kings, emperors, and even popes consulted the stars before making important decisions. Some theories suggest that the Vatican hides millennia-old astrological knowledge, transmitted through symbols and structures that only a few can understand. Could it be that the Church has preserved this knowledge in secret all this time? And if so, what else might be hidden in the shadows of the Vatican? Now, we come to one of the most disturbing mysteries. Some scholars believe that the Vatican's architecture may be linked to prophecies about the end times. St. Peter's Basilica, for example, was designed to be a mirror of the New Jerusalem, the city promised in the Apocalypse. But there is something even more unsettling. There are hidden elements in the construction of the basilica that refer to catastrophic events, such as statues of angels holding flaming swords, inscriptions mentioning divine judgments, and even depictions from the book of revelation. Moreover, there are reports that certain areas of the Vatican contain frescoes and mosaics that can only be seen by a select few, as they are located in sections restricted to the public. If these symbols are indeed there, what are they trying to tell us? Could it be that the Vatican was built not only as a religious center, but also as a warning of what is to come? What will happen when the final secret is revealed? Now that we have explored the hidden symbols scattered throughout the Vatican's architecture, it's time to reach the heart of this mystery. What lies behind so many enigmatic details? Was everything placed there intentionally, or are we dealing with lost knowledge, hidden in plain sight? For centuries, theologians, historians, and scholars have tried to decipher the secrets embedded in the constructions of the Holy See. Some say these messages are clues for those seeking the true meaning of faith, while others believe they are fragments of a hidden history, buried deep in time. But if there is one thing we have learned on this journey, it is that nothing in the Vatican is accidental. Every painting, every statue, every obelisk, every architectural detail seems to be part of a great silent code, awaiting those who dare to question. The big question is, will we be able to understand what is truly being revealed? Throughout history, the Vatican has been responsible for preserving documents and texts of inestimable value. But what if I told you that some of these letters contain hidden messages, encoded and intended only for a select group of people? Many of the popes over the centuries maintained secret correspondence with monarchs, scientists, and even societies that supposedly should not exist. There are rumors that some of these documents deal with secrets that could shake the modern world. But do these letters contain something so powerful that they could never be made public? And most intriguingly, how many of these documents are locked away in the Vatican's underground archives? If one day this information comes to light, what will it mean for the future of humanity? Another striking detail about the Vatican is that its architecture appears to hide traces of lost knowledge. We have already spoken about sacred geometry and the astrological alignment of its constructions, but there is something even more unsettling. Some of these structures follow patterns reminiscent of ancient constructions that supposedly should have no relation to Christianity. Pyramids, Babylonian temples, Egyptian structures. Many of the symbols present in the Vatican seem to resonate with cultures that existed thousands of years before the founding of the Church. This raises a disturbing question. Does the Vatican hide knowledge that predates the official history of Christianity itself? If this hypothesis is true, what else could be concealed beneath the foundations of this sacred city? The Vatican is one of the most well-protected places in the world, but what few know is that it is not limited to what we can see on the surface. Beneath its buildings, there are corridors and tunnels that, according to some sources, extend for kilometers. We have already talked about the Passetto di Borgo, the secret passage used by popes to escape in times of crisis, but what else might be hidden in these underground areas? Some theories suggest there are chambers that have never been explored, guarded by gates that have not been opened for centuries. What might be inside there? Apocryphal texts that would rewrite the history of Christianity, artifacts that would reveal a truth never before told, or something even darker that humanity is not yet ready to discover. We have reached the end of this journey through the enigmas hidden in the Vatican's architecture. We have explored hidden symbols, secret passages, connections with ancient civilizations, and mysteries that may never be fully explained. But this leads us to one final question. Why were these messages left here? If the Vatican truly harbors a secret so profound, why is it encoded in its very constructions? Is it a warning for those who know how to interpret, or an attempt to hide the truth in plain sight? The truth is, the Vatican remains one of the most mysterious places on the planet. And perhaps among its columns and silent corridors lies a secret that could change everything we know about history. And you? What do you think about all this? If this investigation has left you intrigued, just imagine how many other secrets are still hidden around the world. Subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss the next videos. Here we continue exploring the darkest mysteries of history, revealing truths that few dare to question. And now I want to hear from you. What do you think the Vatican is really hiding? Leave your comment below and tell me which other mysteries you want to see covered. Now choose one of the videos appearing on your screen and continue diving into the most hidden secrets of history. See you in the next mystery.